Good morning. Once again, I apologize for the previous temptation of having the live show. So today on Supernatural's Journey show, we are going to talk about loneliness with the expert in relationships and dating, Ieva Kambarovaite. Ieva K. So thank you so very much for everybody tuning in. I appreciate your time. I know time is very, very valuable, and we will do our best to offer you the most valuable information for you in order to grow and to take one step further in your life to become better, the best version of yourself. So while waiting for Ieva K to show up, I would really love to understand what is your hustle, what is your challenge right now, what is that is missing from your life in order to live the life of your dream. I think it's really important to have the greatest and deepest relationship with thyself, to get to know yourself and everything that you've experienced in your life, and to take out from your being from within that sense of consciousness awareness, in order for you to achieve whatever you are looking for to achieve. Hello, Astrid, one of my newest friends online. Where is going to head this virtual world that seems to me that it's easier and easier to connect and get to know people that basically vibrate on the same level as you, and you can collaborate or create new things in your life, new connections, new ideas to change maybe a little bit the world, or at least our life, so we can be in a place where we've been dreaming for our lifetime. Let me send so still waiting for Ieva. She's probably looking for me, and very soon, in few seconds, we are going to start our chat about relationships. There is nothing more important than relationship. So 4, 3.
Hi, it's working. Yes.
Finally, thank you very much for your presence. I was sure that it's not working on a vertical, so we can see both of us on the same on horizontal. So in vertical is working. So thank you very much for the invitation. And how are you?
I'm good, thank you. This is the earliest that I've ever done a Facebook Live. This is very early for me.
Okay, are you mostly a night bird?
Yeah. But I'm awake, so it's all good, all good.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, so I was saying before that you are, let's say, an expert in relationships and dating coach. So before starting, I don't even think we have enough time to talk about whatever I planned. However, we do whatever we can now, and then we can have another session along the way. So before starting, I want to thank you everyone that is listening to this live, and the mission and the purpose of this show is to help at least one person to to increase their level of self-awareness and to give them tips on how to increase their awareness. So before that, tell us a little bit, who is Ieva K?
So thank you so much for, uh, calling me Ieva. I introduce myself usually as Eva in the UK because of pronunciation reasons. So my name is Eva, and I'm a relationship and dating coach. I'm also the award-winning author of the book How to Get Laid Now, the modern man's strategy to approaching women like the boss. And I'm a believer in love, and I help people from all around the world to reach love and to have love in all areas of their lives.
Okay, that's very important, because as I mentioned probably in other episodes, that before coming into this world, we as a beings, we've been created because two people felt passion or love, and we came, and the first thing that we need when we reach this world is we need to have a contact, skin to skin, with one of our parents, because otherwise we might die, right? So make total sense that all of us, we need love. But in your experience, why do you think that not all of us feel that sense of love as you and I feel it?
Oh, wow, this is a big question. So it could be many reasons. It could be something that comes from the childhood, and maybe that person was growing up in an abusive environment, or an environment where his or her parents didn't actually know how to love. And it could be not their fault whatsoever. It's just because they probably didn't receive that love. And then that person goes through the grown-up years, and as an adult, if you did not experience that love growing up, you would have unhealthy patterns and unhealthy understanding what love is. And then you will end up reaching out maybe to people that look familiar to the love that you understand, the love that you experience when you are growing up. So let's say I had a very abusive dad. He was never abusive towards my mom, but he was very abusive. Sorry, he was never abusive towards me, but he was very abusive towards my mom. So it took me almost a decade to notice that I'm actually, when I'm going out, the first man that I noticed in a club or a bar or a party is a man that is so similar to my dad. So it's very interesting because he was not someone that was around me when I was growing up that much, but because I saw that love at home, this is what I automatically think that this is love. And of course, if I'm going out and I'm attracting this kind of love, I have to think, what is that inside of me? What do I have to resolve in order to get over that, and in order to develop a healthy relationship with love? And it is a journey of many, many years. And so I know that now, and I can teach others. But I remember I would spend, because I'm someone that I think I can find answers to anything I want if I just research and read and Google. So I would go, why do I like unavailable men and things like that. It's funny, but it was really painful, because I thought that it comes from the thinking, that maybe you're not worthy of love, that maybe love is not available for you, that maybe you're not lovable. So it could be anything, you might think of some physical things that you have. You might think that it's just you're not worthy because of the job you have, of the money you make, of your weight, of your muscles, of the things you wear. It could be anything, but mostly it comes from the thinking that I am not enough, and if I'm not enough, the love is not available for me because I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy.
Exactly.
And when the person is able to, to get over that, and to actually realize that I'm great the way I am and I deserve all the love, then that's different. But it's a long process. I understand that.
Yeah, I totally sense with your story because, for example, in my case as well, I've been like abused by my alcoholic father, and he used to beat my mother and myself, and but like it's totally understandable for us now because if we go back in history, like it's been only 70 years since the Second World War, and we are collateral victims of that environment, right? Because I've been raised up by my parents and by my grandparents, and everything is just a like a continuous circle from we get tradition and education from our parents, but like looks like now the global awakening, it's realizing that that was totally unfair and unjust and not properly for us to evolve. So there is a TED talk, if you ever heard it, but probably you heard it. There is a guy that is the fourth director, and he done this TED talk. In 1938, they started a project in understanding that human beings, what is the greatest, what is the thing that make them happy. And the result after 70 years, the research, they said that,
Oh, I know.
you know it,
Yeah, yeah, I've seen it. It's one of my favorite TED Talks. Yeah.
yes, yes. So basically, what make us happy is relationships. And this is so funny, you know, when you meet people and you start talking, and I made you a comment yesterday that everything is a relationship. So that one just came like instant in my mind, and I think like with everything we do have relationship, like really really everything, and if you build up or if you are able to open up your heart and your awareness to be available and understand that, look, I have flowers in front of my face, and these flowers are amazing. I do have a relationship because I love them, right? And the same is with everything. So when was the trigger moment that you realized that yourself, you are enough, or you got this calling? When you discovered this calling, what was the trigger moment?
So the understanding that I'm not enough, I still have it every single day.
But it's on
And
unconscious.
like, it's like not this like, oh, I'm not enough all the time. But I think especially, so I'm a high achiever, I'm someone that gets the content for her book in 24 hours. So I'm a bit like, and
Yes.
this comes from the thinking, that I have to achieve enough, a lot in order to feel loved, in order to feel that I'm worthy. And so, I would analyze myself. I would do things and I analyze my behavior. Why do you do this? And why is this? And why is that? So I have on my phone, when I just changed it yesterday, my lock screen says,
Yes.
"You are enough." So, this is like a journey that I think it takes a very long time, and especially if you're doing new things and you're trying new things, at the beginning especially, it will feel that you are not enough. But I think this is the beauty of it, and it's just accepting that being enough, it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. So being enough it more means that, I am great the way I am and I'm always learning. And if I make mistakes on the way, it only means that I'm doing something right. At least I'm not standing in the same place. And if you meeting people and if they hurt your heart, and I say it, if they shit on your heart, well done to you, because at least you were brave enough, to open yourself to that. At least you were brave enough to go out there and be vulnerable and let someone love you, or you loved someone. So it's a great thing. And now with the calling, I don't know. I think when it comes to the mindset and why do we do what we do, I've always been very interested, and I always ask a lot of questions.
Mm.
And I remember when I would come from school, I would go home and I would look for tests, personality tests, and I would just do them and learn about myself. So I've always been very interested.
Okay, yes, yes, because I remember, like, I have a daughter of nearly 6 years old, and she's asking always question. But the ultimate trend that I see around is vulnerability. And I've been taught, and most of us been taught, that being vulnerable is a weakness. But the high achievers,
Mm.
the great people that they are so successful in any area of their life, they open up and they say that vulnerability is a virtue, is a weapon for you to create great relationships. What do you think? What is your position about vulnerability?
I agree with that, especially when it comes to meeting people, whether it's dating, whether it's a work relationship. If you are talking to someone that is completely new and you don't know that person, and if you put, the show, I am so perfect, I am so great, I am so strong, and look at my shiny life, and it's all right, but if you open up and maybe talk about something that is hurting you, what you will find out that the person that you are talking to, they can relate to that because they probably have the same problem. It might not be, exactly the same thing, but when you share your pain with someone, you can see how that makes you closer and you are more relatable than instead of, like showing, oh, I'm so great, and it's cool, you're great. And this is what we see like on social media, especially if you have a lot of friends that are business owners, or you're going through and you're like, oh, I shouldn't even get out of bed, it's just useless, everyone is doing so great and look at me. So yeah, I think that's the beauty of showing your vulnerable side, because people can connect and you are more relatable.
Yeah, I think sensitiveness is really, really amazing. And being vulnerable is being truthful. And I think
Mm.
people love and feel attraction for honest people, that they are brave, they are confident, they have high level of energy, and they speak out the truth, because there is nothing more attractive than the truth. And I remember Arthur Karcher said once that um, being smart and being truthful is really sexy nowadays. And I really appreciate your work, because I have realized that I mean, I even learned that men think more logically with the right hand side of the brain, and women use more the emotional side of the brain. That's why when two women discuss, they get into details, they get on the altitude hour, they are more expressive, instead of men, yes, no, yes, no. And therefore, your mission is really, really great, because um, obviously you have to open up the heart of men when you have like male clients. How difficult, no, for you, is the same to work with men and women, or is more difficult with men to work about this subject?
I think when it comes to men, for them, it's more difficult to actually make that step, to take that step and to reach out to someone. But once they reach out, because there are some men, that they've been watching my videos, I don't know, for months and months and months, but they would never comment, they would never like anything, they would never message me anything. And then once of the blue, I get this long message saying, oh, I've been watching you and I have this problem. I had the porn addiction for years, and all this like just like goes on. So I think for men, it's more difficult to reach out for someone and say, look, I really need your help. I really need your support. I need to make that change. But once they do, I usually attract men that are quite good at expressing themselves, and or maybe I just ask good questions. I don't know. But yeah, we do have fun working together, and it's nice to see their journey and the change.
Yes, totally, totally agree. And how can we challenge people, audience, or any other friend that we have, for example, to be more curious, to ask questions, because I think asking questions is the secret to personal growth. But so many people, why do they stay in the shadow and they just keep going, doing the same things, and they live in pain? And how could we ask questions, be more curious about ourselves, obviously?
Mm. So, as an example, so you are married, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So you are married, and the way you are with, let's say, your friends or a business partner or your client, it's different how you are with your wife.
totally.
And certain sides of you, how you approach things, your wife has never seen it.
Well, yeah,
Is that correct?
I'm a continuous change now, and my wife doesn't really recognize me sometimes.
Yeah. And then but however, if you speak, if you are saying something, if you are, she's someone that sometimes finishes your sentences and your thoughts.
Yes,
Yes. So your wife thinks that she knows you very well. However, she knows you as much as you show her, as you are willing to show. But there are certain things, when you just start seeing someone and there are all these you want to do all this fun stuff in bed and you want to try this and you want to try that. But as the time goes by, you never even mention those things because you feel like, oh, I might be judged. She might think there's something wrong with me. So, you keep that to yourself.
yes,
So there are so many different sides to you that your wife has no idea that you have. It's the same about your wife. There are so many things that you don't know about her. And the way she is around you is because she feels that there's a certain role she has to play. So it's your job and her job to, find those different sides to each other. So maybe if you do things, I know it's not easy, if you are married and it gets like a routine, but just do something different. Like go and do something new, an activity that you never done before. Even, like going to a theater or watching a new film, because the things that will be shown in that film or in that theater, that play, it will give you new ideas and new things how you can communicate. And I would like to encourage everyone, if you're watching this, whether you're a man or a woman, I would like you to look at the person that you spend the most time with and you think, I know this person, I know everything about them, I know from, what coffee they drink, where they grew up, like I know their fears, their dreams, their desires, everything. I would really want you, to put different glasses and to look at that person with eyes of curiosity and the eyes, that it's magic, how when you just met each other and you really wanted to know each other. So I would really, really like to encourage you to try that and see what you can get.
yes, exactly.
Because this is the reason why people go and cheat. Very often it's not sex, it's the gift of being able to feel different, to find a different side in yourself. This is very often why people cheat, because they're able to escape in another person. They can see, they can escape themselves and their reality. And you can do that with a person that knows you really well if you just open up. But someone has to make that step.
Totally. I think curiosity to know and be somebody new, it's part of the game, but actually you're following the wrong strategy, right? You should be doing that with the person that is next to you, the person that you need to increase to make that relationship stronger and more connected. And there is a quote, famous quote, I think Dr. Wayne Diaz said it. Once you change the perspective uh, of the things that you look, the things, they change itself. right? So the perspective that you look at things is very, very important. So I think always is good to come from a powerful, positive thinking against the person that you're thinking about, right? So I've seen that you already launched your second book, or you
It will be launched, I think, just before Christmas. Yes. It's going through the last checks and things, yeah, but I'm very excited. A new book for women. It's called Why I'm Still Single.
okay, yes, because I think nowadays so many people they are still single, and when I say single, not about love relationship, but even people are single with they have only their dreams. They are not together with their business idea. Because I'm a I'm a very great advocate of people getting involved in business, because there is a statistic in the world. In order for us to solve all the problems in the world, we need to quadruple the number of business people. So we still have a long way to do that. And for you is really, really great that you stepped into the business world, and you're doing something great to help people. So, what would be your advice for all of us to step into the business world?
So, firstly, when it comes to whether it's business, whether it's relationship, I think it's very important to kind of know what works for you. So let's say when I started, I think it was last year when I set up my whole coaching business and everything after I wrote my first book. And when I started doing it, I was working through the place of like my masculine side. So I was, like doing things that Gary Vee would say, like job, and like killing and crushing it and just really like going hard. But what I noticed was that it wasn't healthy for me because I'm a very feminine woman. So I needed something that is softer, something that's gonna tell me, it's okay if you take a day and you don't do anything. It's okay, you like if you're not like posting every day on social media because it just feels like too much. So I think whether it's going into a business relationship, whether it's going into a personal relationship, going for a new job or anything, it's very important to get to know yourself and then go and do that. And it's okay to listen what everyone is telling you to do, but just when the voice inside of you is telling you that something is not right, just take a moment to listen to that voice and listen more and see how it feels and then do things. Don't just, like I know, like, let's say if you are watching YouTube and there are all these videos and motivational and they're telling you to crush and isolate yourself and spend time by yourself for 6 months and just work on your business and that's all right, but for it might not be working for you and you might have a burnout and you might have a depression and you will isolate yourself so much that you will be in pain. So I think it's very important to whatever you are doing, just remember that you are not just business, but you are a person that needs relationships, that needs good food, that needs to go outside and walk, that needs to, look at the sky when it's a beautiful day. So it has to be many things because at the end of the day, what's the point of having business if you're all by yourself and it's just boring and miserable? It's the people that matters, as you know from that TED talk. It's the relationships, and you can't do anything by yourself. You need other people.
Yes, totally. Since I seen that TED talk, I have always have this idea or strategy for myself to working only and focusing on building relationship with people, because that is the most fundamental. Because for sure, maybe right now I don't have everything that I need, but maybe it will be a time in the future when we can build up together a platform or business idea where we can share the same values. And for sure that there are people in our life that come and go, but there are even people that come and stay. And we do really have to focus on those people that stay, because those people, they vibrate with us on the same level as us. Okay, tell me, what are your three best truths that you got from your parents that you're using now in your life?
Always be kind. If you do something, do really well, and treat others the way you would like to be treated.
Okay,
Yeah, these are.
that's really, really, really powerful, because you embody that into your thinking from a very early age, I presume.
Mm-hmm. But then I think the second one, if you do something, do really well, I don't think it has always served me, because I've developed a thinking of, like being a perfectionist, which like I've been working on that for the last year more. Like I've been really working on it. And now I know that, well, I'm still not 100% there, but I'm learning to understand that done is very often better than perfect. So, sometimes it just has to be done.
That's why even the name of this show, Supernatural Journey, because I believe that I have started this great, amazing journey into the personal development world, and it's like never ending. I'm like probably 2 years in it, and it's still things that I need to master in order to be a very high achiever. So for you, have you had like a core model that you've been inspired in your past, or it's just been a collection of people?
Oh, you mean like one person that I'm really inspired by?
Yes, yes. That you've been inspired in your life, in your past. Probably now you have many more because you are keen into learning more and more. But in your past, there was like that. For example, I tell you, this guy on top, Elon Musk, if you know him, he inspired me a lot into all areas of my life, like about 4 or 5 years ago. And along the way, I've got inspired by other people as well, but he was like the first one that when I studied his life, I said, wow, this guy is the most genius human being alive. So this guy for me. What about for you? What was the person that really inspired you?
So, firstly, I would like to ask people that are watching, if you are watching, could you leave in the comments who is your role model or who has inspired you for many years when you were younger? So, for me, I think I struggled with that and I didn't have role models. Not that I wasn't surrounded by great people. Maybe my auntie, yeah, my auntie, she inspired me a lot because she traveled a lot, and this is something that I like. And she can speak like 7 foreign languages or something. Yeah, yeah, she's very good at that. And I think it's also when it comes to the role models and inspiration, um, I might have struggled like with identity because so I was born in Lithuania and my mom is from Lithuania, but my dad is from Georgia, and I never really knew that side of me. So I think there was something inside of me that I was like, ooh, why is this that and why is this in this way? But this is not something that we ever discussed in the house. So I think I had a lot of sides to myself that I wasn't aware. So, and usually when someone is a role model, as much as you put that person on like what do you call it, pedestal, it's also someone that you can relate to in a way. So if you don't know sides to yourself, then it's not easy to find that. But like now it's yeah, it makes more sense, and there are a lot of people that I really admire and I love them for different reasons.
Yes, yes, yeah. I do share the same idea as you said, that your identity. Me too. Sometimes people, there is like a very simple question that people in UK been asking me a lot, where you from? And it's not that I am not ashamed. I'm very open where I'm from. I have nothing to do. But the people perception that they receive from media or the environment really, really, they really believe it without even having the facts of it. So it's a total nonsense for me, but it's just fine for me. So I was born in Romania. I grew up in Italy, lived for 8 years there, and now I live here 8 years. And I don't really know. People ask me, where would you like to go back and move in Romania? I'm not really thinking where to live because it doesn't really matter where you live. It's more important what do you do and what do you want to achieve in your life. So what is for example, for yourself, the barrier that uh, you overcome as being a person from an immigrant, let's say in UK?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. So, I think it's another thing with going back to loneliness. If you feel lonely in Lithuania, you're gonna feel lonely in the UK, you know. Once the initial kind of excitement goes, you're still gonna be in like your old ways unless you decide to get out of those old ways. I had a good experience coming here. I just the same like you know, when they were started talking about Brexit and we're gonna get you out of the country. I personally believe, and I'm sorry, you know, if there are some British people that I'm gonna offend, but I believe that you guys need us more than we need you. And the truth is, just like you know, I could move to another country tomorrow. It's not a problem. I know I can build my life anywhere that I want. But I had some, I wouldn't say like a lot of, I had a couple of racist incidents, but they were just from people that didn't know any better, you know, it's like from ignorant people. I remember I posted this once on my wall. So I came to the UK the first year. I found a job in 2 weeks, and then it was like just a part-time job, and then I got a full-time job working at the retail store selling gold and like expensive watches and whatnot. And I remember I was so happy. It was my first full-time job. I was like, yes, I made it. So the first day, the first day I went to work and I'm like all smart, you know, like happy. And I wasn't even supposed to serve customers yet because it was my first day. But you know, us people from Eastern Europe, we're not gonna stand there, wait till someone tells us what to do. You're gonna go there and take your initiative. So I went there, I took my initiative, and this lady came in and like I'm like, hello, you know, how can I help you? And she looked at me and she said this, UFC. You come here stealing our jobs. You come here stealing our husbands. And I was just like this. And then she walked out of the shop. And I was just standing there, you know, like all confused, but she just doesn't know any better, you know, bless her. Yeah. I hope she's well.
I think
So yeah, but I think you can live where you want. It's again, it's not where you live, it's what you make, how you are, who you with. It's more important.
I think is a total misunderstanding about who we really are. This is what I'm totally sensing, that we are not conscious about and aware who we are. We don't have the knowledge because society create this kind of conditionment into our brain, and we totally react and behave from what we have learned during our lifetime. So I think it's a total illusion. So many, probably more than 50% of the people, they live in that illusion, and they think that if you isolate yourself as a country, as it is UK, and you I, I, I I'm totally against, me personally. I'm against. But looks like some people, they think this is the right way to do it. We'll see about that. And I've been through loads of negative experiences with people. I would not like to express them now because anyway, I don't really think we have any British people. But anyway, I forgive everybody.
We have Michael. Hi, Michael. Then was that Ian or something? Yeah, we have some.
Yes, that's okay. We forgiveness. How important you think is forgiveness in our life? Not only.
Oh, I think forgiveness is very important, but I think more than that, it's very important to forgive yourself. So if you're going through a heartbreak, if someone maybe stole from you, if someone broke that trust. I know very often what happens, like I would beat myself up and I would think, oh, I was so stupid. I should have done any better. So I think as important it is to forgive that person that hurt you, it's also important to forgive yourself for making that mistake. It's not a mistake because you learned the lesson for, maybe doing something that was not so smart, or yeah, forgiving yourself is very important as well.
And what about the others? I do have this kind of visualization. I close my eyes and I imagine the picture of the person that really like hurt me or had a conflict with me or I've been mean in my past. And I say, I forgive you, please forgive me. Why I do that, I have learned it from the monks, right? In Asia, the monks, um, they've been done some studies and the brain waves, they vibrate to a much higher frequency because they have no hatred against no other people. So I think if you don't have any connections of hatred in your spirit, then you live your life differently, better. So I think, what have you have any tips for forgiving other people?
So I would like to ask, if you're watching this, hi Selena, could you tell me in the comments, if is there a person that you feel that you would like to maybe forgive, or someone that hurt you? You don't need to put their names, just put yes if there is someone that you would like to forgive and forget what happened. So there is this exercise. So I'm not like a bitter person, and actually, one of my problems is that I forgive too easily. And I give too many chances to people. If someone hurt me, I go out of my way to like get into that person's shoes, to get into that kind of, like understanding why did that person did this, and I would find ways to justify them. I'm learning, to be a bit more assertive and not so not such a softie, because it all in sometimes it's not a good thing, because some people, they sense it and they take an advantage of that. So but I have a belief, that everyone is nice and kind, and I honestly believe that. And I believe if someone hurts you, it's because they're hurting themselves, and that's why it comes. But I know, sometimes you might be really hurt, and I was hurt by someone, and so I did this exercise, and I found this really useful. So I'm a big believer in writing things down. I think when
Mm.
you write things down, it goes into a different physical platform, different universe, and then it makes you feel in a different way, because you're also able to step out of yourself and look at it. So I would advise you to take a piece of paper and think about the person that hurt you, and firstly write down all the things that were good that you were with that person. So let's say it was your ex boyfriend, if there are some women, or ex girlfriend, or someone, ex partner, and you write down, thank you so much, for introducing to this music, to this food, for going with me to these places, for rubbing my feet, anything you can think of. So put as many things as you can. And then the other paragraph you want to put, but you hurt me in that way, and you write the things how that person hurt you. And I want you to sit down, take a few minutes, just read that in and take that in and see, like how it should make you feel different. I also do this dramatic thing. I like to burn the letter, but it's up to you whether you want to burn it or not. But I think it's helpful. And if you try that, I would like to see, if you're watching this and you try the exercise, I would like to see, what the results you get. So get in touch with me and tell me. I'm always interested.
Okay, so I'm a bit lost. So what you don't like, what do you experience with that person? You write it down and then you burn it.
So firstly, you write down everything that you are grateful for. Because it's like in giving you put in a sandwich. Firstly, you say the things that you appreciate, and then you say the things that you don't like, because you don't want just to come across as negative. It's not good for you, because every time you put negativity out, this is what you receive. So you wanted to keep it balanced.
Okay, fabulous, fabulous. Okay, what do you want to achieve in the next 3 years? There is again a study that people overestimate what they want to do in the next year, and they underestimate what they want to achieve in 3 years. So, what you want to achieve in the next 3 years from now on?
So my biggest thing has nothing to do with work, money, none of that. It's just so I've been going through some difficult times, and just in September, August, I was going through a very nasty depression, and my biggest goal is to reach the point where I'm really kind to myself when it comes to my mind, and where I'm able to reach the inner peace, and where I don't beat myself up on the days when I don't complete my to-do list, when I'm not, being a high achiever that I always am. And I just want to actually find the inner peace, and I want to learn to appreciate more little things,
Yes.
and to be more in a moment, to eat slower, to know if I'm drinking my coffee, to drink coffee, just enjoy moments, because I think at the end of the day, that's really important. And like business wise, I just want to help as many people as I can. If I can, yeah, one person is not enough. I want to help more than one person. So yeah.
Yeah, me too. I really post when I do the post. I want to help one person, but if it comes 2, 3, 5, 10, 100, 1,000, I will do all my best to help all of them. But like, I think it's a fact of awakening, because so many people, they, I am so like passionate about awareness, because we, as you said, you have some people that they just watching, and maybe they will never come to contact you. But if you keep doing it, it will come to a time that they will take their heart into their arms, and they come, and but is because of your persistence. So how your persistence for you, do you think is important?
Yeah, for me, my persistence is very important. And I think if I'm getting a no from someone, that means I'm doing something right and I'm going forward, and it's a good thing. Also, I want to ask people that are watching. So, there are only a month and few weeks left till 2019. What is one quality you would like to work on for the rest of 2018? I'd like to know that, because
Quality.
the January is going to be the time when everyone is crazy about New Year's resolutions, and for the first few weeks. So I'd like to know, what is that one quality that you would like to work on for the rest of 2018? Leave in the comments, please.
For myself to answer this question, is the one quality, I think, to understand the people and again to understand how can I connect with them and building relationships. But this is still my goal, and it will be probably for the rest of my life, because I understand, I am aware of the importance of relationship with people, and yes, this is my answer. Okay.
So I want to ask you this thing. So I think if I don't know if you can relate to this. Once you start going into this journey, when you want to be self-aware, where you start learning these things and reading these things, uh, do you find when you go out into the world that you meet more people or less people that you can be really good friends with? Like, what about your friend circle? Has it become bigger or smaller once you become really committed to this self-development journey?
Oh my God, way bigger. And there is a transformation of my relationships, because um, the old childhood friendship, they are still there, but they don't really bring me any value. And I understand that it's important to spend the time with the people that you can learn from, people that um, um, appreciate high values, that give you more confidence or encourage you. And yes, I've been always looking to go to events. And when you go to these personal development events, you meet only beautiful people over there. They're not really secondhand people. So it's, yes, my relationships, they've been like, I have so many more friends right now. But the same, what I want, but I think, how do you relate trust? Because any relationship needs trust. How do we build trust in a relationship?
By taking a risk and
Take,
just thinking that person is going to trust you. That's it.
okay, taking the risk. I love risk. There is this guy Osho. He was a sort of guru in the 70s, 80s. Have you ever heard about him?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
If I see a picture, then probably yes, but with names, I'm not very good.
he's a Indian guy with a big long beard. Yeah, and he said that, I have lost what he said. Um, Maybe it's coming back later. Have you read the book 10 Secrets to Success and Inner Peace
By whom?
by Dr. Wayne Dyer? Is one of my favorite books.
I haven't, no.
That will be a very good book for you, to help you get along with your wishes and desires for the end of the year, to be more in balance with what you want to achieve. I think it's a great book for you. Okay, what is the definition of greatness for you?
When what you do and how you feel is in harmony.
Mm, that's very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Okay, before asking my last question, please tell our audience where they can find you.
They can find me on Facebook.
On
Yeah.
Facebook. Yes, totally. Facebook.
Where you can find me, if you are a man, you can find me on my book website. That is getlaidnowbook.com. I think getlaidnowbook.com. Yeah, you can find me there and you can get the first chapter of my book for free. Then for ladies, I could tell you the website, but I don't think it's not ready yet, so I can't tell you that. Yeah, just get in touch with me on a. Oh, you know what? I could give a gift to your
Audience.
listeners.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes, please.
So I'm gonna give you a gift that's worth, what is that, like let's say 250 pounds, and
I
you'll
want
get
it.
it absolutely for free. So it's going to be a coaching session with me, half an hour,
Okay.
and I will help you to solve one problem that you might have. So anything relationships related, and yeah, whether it's dating, personal relationships, whether you're a man or a woman. And in order to get the present, what should we ask them to like and comment with something, or
Okay.
what do you think? Should we ask? No, what I want you to do is like this video and tag a person that you think would find the video useful, that maybe could do with more relationships in their lives, or in their life, whether it's personal or work or like intimate relationships, anything. So if you want to get the gift, that's a coaching session with me, half an hour. Just like this and tag a friend that you think could use some company in life, or just needs to have more awareness when it comes to the things that we discussed in the video.
Okay, fabulous, fabulous. Okay, so what do I think? I was thinking, like, the coaching industry is kind of something new in the last 20, 30 years. But what I think that coaches is the new term of teachers, because what do
Mhm.
we coaches teach people is not, we don't teach them geography or mathematics, or like, I've been in school, I have learned a lot, but is nothing that I have ever used in my life, and I don't think I will ever need all those mathematic equations. And maybe literature is fine because it improves your communication skills. What do you think? You kind of agree that coaches are the new leaders, new teachers, that we teach people the fundamentals, the basics of being an awesome human being.
Yeah, I think so, because when you are at school, or when you are, a child, someone is always like on your case, and they tell you, do this, do that. And then you go into the world and you like, okay, how do I do this? And sometimes you might know how to do that, but sometimes all you need is someone that keeps you accountable. So I know there are a lot of great people, very smart, and they know how to do something, but it's just taking the action. So all sometimes it takes, why you just one of the things why you might need a coach is to get out of that way, that story that you've been telling yourself, and just to go to that next stage and to finally, live a better life. And all you have to do sometimes just apply very simple things, but you just need someone that can push you a little. And I think that's what coach is for, to give you that guidance and to give you those tools and to keep you accountable, so to keep you on track so you're doing the right thing.
Totally. I like, I recommend to everybody that coaching, it's something that teach you a lot about emotional intelligence, that, for example, we've never been taught. And communication, it's verbal between human beings, is verbal only 7%. And you can imagine that 93% is voice, tonality, and body language. But we don't know about that in school. So coaches can teach you that, and that's awesome. Okay, my last question for today is, what is the impact that you want to have in the world?
It's gonna go together with this the topic that we were about, but I just want to, if I can leave this world and if I was able to help some people to feel less lonely and more connected, then I'll be really happy. This is what I want.
You
I
gotta,
just want to inspire people to get together and to, to communicate and to do things where they feel less lonely and more connected, because as you were telling, about when you open your vulnerability, when you show who you are, then you will be able to experience that with people that are around you. So it's just, I know sometimes it's very scary, but you just have to be brave and take that step and take the risks as well.
Yes, yes, 100%. I really, really believe that if we invest in ourselves and in our connections with the people around us, everything it's just a lot more better. So for today, Eva K, I want to thank you so very much for your time, and I want to thanks to everybody that they ripped off the time from spending whatever they want to do and stay here with us and watching us. And even for those watching your replay, please ask any questions, any comments, connect with Eva. And yes, thank you so very much, Eva. I appreciate it. It was an honor.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed your questions. They were very good. Made me think. Thank you.
Okay. Next time we're gonna make it better.
No, it was good. It was good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
My mom just tuned in. Labas, mama.
Labas,
She's
mama.
Roma. Yeah, that's my mom.
My mother was
Okay.
all the time in as well, but she doesn't understand English. She stay only to see my face.
My mom only goes online to look at my eyes and to see if I look tired or not. And then she messages me. She's like, "You look tired. Why are you online? Go and sleep."
Oh, mothers, we have to love them.
I know. Anyway, thank you so much for having me. And for everyone, have a great week ahead.
Thank you very much. Otherwise, thank you.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Bye. Bye.